He invited his poor ex-wife to shame. Her at his wedding, but she arrived in a limo with their triplets. Everyone in town knew that Daniel Hartley loved attention. He loved expensive suits, loud applause, and the feeling of being admired. Years ago, when he was still struggling to build his construction business, he had been married to a simple, soft-spoken woman named Emily. Emily believed in hard work, loyalty, and family. When Daniel's business began to grow, so did his ego. He started attending elite parties, meeting wealthy investors, and slowly distancing himself from the woman who had once stood beside him during his hardest days. When Emily became pregnant with triplets, instead of feeling joy, Daniel felt trapped. He complained about the expenses, the responsibility, and the way fatherhood might slow his rising social status. Arguments became frequent, and eventually Daniel filed for divorce, claiming he needed freedom to focus on his future. He left Emily with 3 newborn babies and a small monthly support payment that barely covered groceries. For years, Emily struggled. She worked nights as a cleaner and days as a tailor from home, stitching clothes while her babies slept beside her. There were nights she cried silently, exhausted and heartbroken, but she never allowed her children to feel unloved. She told them their father was busy building his life, and that they should always respect him. Meanwhile, Daniel's company flourished. He appeared in local magazines, bought a luxury penthouse, and began dating Victoria, the daughter of a wealthy businessman. Their engagement became the talk of the city, and Daniel wanted the wedding to be the grandest event anyone had ever seen. As the guest list grew, so did his pride. One evening, while laughing with friends, someone casually asked, "Whatever happened to your ex-wife and those kids?" Daniel smirked. An idea formed in his mind, cruel but entertaining to him. He decided to invite Emily to his wedding, not out of kindness, but to prove to everyone how much better his life had become without her. He imagined her arriving in old clothes, looking tired and defeated, while he stood shining beside his glamorous bride. He sent the invitation with a short note. "Hope you can attend and see how far I've come." When Emily received the envelope, her hands trembled. The elegant gold lettering felt heavy. For a moment she considered throwing it away. She knew Daniel's nature. She sensed the hidden intention. Her triplets, Noah, Lily, and Aaron, now 7 years old, saw the invitation and asked innocent questions about their father's wedding. Emily took a deep breath and decided she would attend, not for Daniel, but for her children. She wanted them to see that dignity is stronger than pride. However, there was something Daniel didn't know. 2 years earlier, when Emily was working late at a small fashion workshop, an elderly woman had collapsed outside in the rain. Emily rushed to help her, called an ambulance, and stayed by her side until her family arrived. The woman turned out to be Margaret Whitmore, a retired fashion house owner with no close heirs. Touched by Emily's kindness and learning about her struggles, Margaret offered to mentor her. Over time, Emily's natural talent for design flourished under Margaret's guidance. When Margaret passed away a year later, she left her boutique and a significant inheritance to Emily, saying, "Kindness deserves a future." Emily expanded the boutique into a successful ethical fashion brand, known for empowering single mothers. Quietly, without media drama, she built a respected name in the industry. By the time Daniel's wedding day arrived, Emily was no longer the struggling woman he remembered. On humiliation he had planned had reversed itself completely, not because Emily tried to embarrass him, but because her success spoke naturally. At one point, Daniel pulled her aside, his voice lower than usual. "I didn't know about all this." Emily looked at him steadily. "You never asked." There was no anger in her eyes, only truth. She added softly, "I hope you find what truly matters, Daniel." Later, as dinner was served, Daniel finally opened the small box Lily had given him. Inside was a simple framed photo of him holding the triplets as newborns. On the back was written in childish handwriting, "We are proud of you, Dad." The innocence of it shattered something inside him. Despite everything, Emily had never poisoned their hearts against him. He looked across the hall at his children laughing together, at Emily speaking kindly with strangers, and for the first time in years, he felt small, not because of her wealth, but because of her strength. When the night ended, the same limousine carried Emily and the triplets away, leaving behind stunned guests and a groom deep in thought. Daniel's grand display of superiority had turned into a silent lesson on humility. He realized that success without character is empty, and that the woman he once underestimated had built not just a fortune, but a legacy of compassion. Emily drove home with her children, grateful not for the attention, but for the journey that had shaped her. She knew that true victory is not proving someone wrong. It is proving yourself strong. And as the city lights faded behind them, one truth remained clear. Kindness always finds its way back, often in ways no one expects. If this story touched your heart and reminded you that dignity and kindness are the greatest forms of success, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel Kindness. True stories for more powerful and emotional stories like this.